What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Legendary Picks. It's your boy Gio, and we're talking about UFC 307 today. Pereira versus Roundtree Jr. This main card is going to be a banger. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of entertainment, testing the grip strength of UFC fighters real quick.
And then just squeeze it as hard as you can. I didn't get a very good grip.
90 pounds,
Kayla Harrison.
90.4 pounds.
Let's get to the end. Oh. Alex Pereira.
159.2.
That's a lot. Everybody else is like 100.
166.2.
Crazy. So I had another one over here where grip strength. So they won't let me show the whole video, but this is the comparison, okay? Khalil Roundtree, Alex Pereira at the top. You got Kayla Harrison at the top of the females, and you got José Aldo at the bottom of the females. So you already know who's gonna win. José Aldo's not gonna win his fight. I mean, that's just how it works. And Kayla Harrison will win hers. So let's dive right in. Real quick. Yeah, Bautista, Kayla Harrison, Cesar Almeida. You know, just in case for my impatient folks, not ready to go through the whole video. So these early prelims, I don't want to spend too much time on the early prelims because all of these fighters are like, you know, they either have losing streaks or they're just mid-tier fighters. They're not like the top of their weight class, right? So Court McGee versus Tim Means, just to show you real quick, you know, they're both. I think Tim Means, you know, he won one out of his last 5 fights, right? And Court McGee is on a 3-fight losing streak. So I think Tim Means gets it, just because he's a little bit not as bad. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the next fight. Carla Esparza versus Tesha Pennington. Carla Esparza, she was a champion, but she wasn't able to keep up with the likes of Zhang Weili and people who are on her level, right? You know, she's kind of like a fighter from the previous meta of the UFC. And she was getting all her wins back in, you know, like 2018 and 2020 time frame. In the last 5 years, a lot has changed. Tesha Pennington, she's kind of, I mean, yeah, her record is interesting. But if you look at her wins and losses, like her most recent losses came from better opponents, and she lost by split decision, which means she could have won. Versus Carla Esparza, you don't really see that as much. So that's why I would lean, and she hasn't really done a lot of fighting, neither one of them. But that's why I would lean towards Tesha Pennington. She's going to win this fight. Okay? And then the last early prelim, moving on to Ryan Spann versus Ovince St. Preux. At first, I wasn't sure why it was a early prelim, because I know, you know, I mean, these guys, light heavyweight bout. I know, at least I've seen Ryan Spann fight, and he definitely has some interesting fights. But 2-inch reach advantage. I mean, I don't see what people are seeing in Ryan Spann to make him the favorite fighter, because if you look at their records, you know, they both have fought a bunch of times. I think Kennedy and Jacob Chukwu is a pretty good opponent to have a win over. And then if you look at Ryan Spann, I mean, he's just been, you know, losing. He lost to Anthony Smith too. And not to say that he's not a good fighter, but I think we just been expecting a little bit more from Ryan Spann, and he just hasn't been showing it. You know, I guess split decision is not bad, you know, Anthony Smith, but yeah, so basically I think Ovince St. Preux is going to take it based on their records. Moving on to the next fight. Okay, moving on to the prelims, the actual prelims, right? We got Cesar Almeida versus Ihor Potieria. And Ihor Potieria, like, this guy, he's washed. Like, let's be real, he's washed. I don't like to say that a lot about the fighters. Obviously, they're all very talented, but if we're talking about like this level of competition, Cesar Almeida, he's a young guy. He actually lost his first fight last time. I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance, and show how well he show his skill set, right? So he was a champion in some lower level promotion, and on the Dana White's Contender Series, you know, he looked really good. And in UFC Fight Night, he looked really good. Got Performance of the Night bonus. You know, these kickboxers are pretty, you know, Alex Pereira, kickboxer, Israel Adesanya, kickboxer. You know, some of the more entertaining fighters in here. And he lost to Roman Kopylov by split decision. I'm a big fan of Roman Kopylov as well. So Cesar Almeida takes it. Okay. Next fight, Alexander Hernandez versus Austin Hubbard. See some stats real quick. All right. This one isn't really like I haven't seen these fighters fight very much, but they also are not necessarily the most sought after fighters in their weight class. So let's see. You know, like look at this. Look at his record, right? Look at Alexander Hernandez's record. But this guy who was a champion in a lower level promotion, and he won his last fight. You know, that's what I would say. That's why I would bet on Austin Hubbard. Austin Hubbard's gonna win this fight. Okay. Let's see. Next fight. I haven't seen Mariana Rodriguez fight, but I have seen Iasmin Lucindo fight. And you know, she's pretty convincing. It's interesting when you get these fighters, these female fighters with where there's like a big height disadvantage, no reach disadvantage, except on the legs. It's interesting, but let's look at the records real quick. So I'm going with Iasmin Lucindo right off the bat without even having seen Mariana Rodriguez's style. So she's 7-4 into, you know, she lost to Jessica Andrade, who is like kind of Iasmin Lucindo. She's like the same type of fighter, like, you know, with the striking, short, stocky, and whatnot. So, and let's look at her record real quick. I think she's very convincing. You know, she also has a belt and a lower level promotion, and she's just been winning convincingly. Unanimous decision, KO, triangle choke. So, we're betting on her. Okay, pausing for a sec. Alrighty. Anyway, so Iasmin Lucindo. So now we get to go to the main card, right? Oh shit! One more prelim. I can't believe Jaoqin Buckley and Stephen Thompson is in the prelims, bro. This should be in the main card, but they can't all be in the main card. And you know what? That fight to open up the main card is just gonna be a chef's kiss. So real quick, Jaoqin Buckley versus Stephen Thompson. Okay. I actually like both these fighters. Stephen Thompson, you know, he's kind of like a gatekeeper. He's good. But Jaoqin Buckley is better, okay? And he's only been getting better every fight that he's fought. And his, what was it? His grip strength. Did they show what his grip strength was? Jaoqin Buckley 107, Stephen Thompson 105. So yeah, they're both good. But let's go ahead and, you know what? I will show some highlights from him real quick. Jaoqin Buckley highlights. Yeah, ninja kick KO. Ooh! Oh my God, that guy just knocked him. Oh my God. Oh my God. I forgot. Shit, I totally forgot to put this output in. All right, so now you can hear it too. So yeah, that was a crazy head kick, and that's what that guy does. Okay, so that is what the guy does. Fuck, man. Whatever. Never mind. Never mind. Scratch that. All right. Anyway, Jaoqin Buckley is gonna win. Cool. On to the main card. Let's go. Now, Kayla Harrison is probably the best fighter on this card, aside from Alex Pereira. He's obviously one of the best fighters. Yeah, she's the best. You know, she is an Olympic champion in judo. She is a champion in other organizations. And she completely dominated her first fight. Okay, this is what her debut looked like.
Higher level, more power. Toyo Tires, official tire of UFC.
Choke, rear choke.
Yep, she taps it. Kayla Harrison has arrived in the big show. She submits Kayla.
Okay, Kayla Harrison. This is what Kayla Harrison's arms look like. Okay, she has bigger arms than most of the men in the 135 division, and clearly, like we said, she has a stronger grip strength than some of those people as well. Some of the men. Okay, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, so now, and this is such a good picture of her, like in her freaking gi. Like, that's how much of a badass she is. Okay, American top team, 15-1 in the PFL, crazy. Okay, she won the belt back then in 2021, and she just been wiping the floor in PFL, wiping the floor with these ladies in the PFL. So she finally got a chance to go to the UFC, and then she started wiping the floor with them as well. Okay, Ketelen, Vieira, I like her actually, but let me tell you, I do not like her as much as Kayla Harrison. Okay, they can both beat Holly home, you know what I mean? But man, like Kayla was saying before, like, girl that she's fighting against? Oh, that was Julianna Peña.
I know violence, and Kayla just got here to the scene. As far as I'm concerned,
Just got here. I've won 2 Olympic gold medals. I've been doing.
what does that
since I
have
was
to do with
6
being in
years
the
old,
UFC?
honey.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there to make sure they don't catch me on no copyright. But what she says, this is a quote right here. I gotta zoom in. You're gonna hear the quote.
I have anything to say
You
about it?
started your career in 2009. You're 10-5. I started in 2018, and I'm 17-1.
Honestly, that's a mic drop right there. She can't say nothing. She can't say nothing to that. Okay, nothing to that. That's like 17 years versus like 7 years, and like twice as many fights, twice as many wins, twice as less losses. So let me, and she's not even talking to the woman she's fighting. Okay, she's talking to the woman who's fighting to the challenger for the title belt. Okay, which means Kayla Harrison has a lot of room to grow. Okay, so she's already number 3. Let me see. UFC bantamweight women's rankings. Let's see. Oh, Wait, is Kayla Harrison's number 1 already? No way. No freaking way. Okay, yeah, she's number 11. Okay, pound for pound rankings, she's number 11. And in their bantamweight, she's number 3. So Julianna Peña is the girl she's talking to. Ketelen Pereira is right before. And then Raquel Pennington is next. So literally, if she wins her fight today, she's fighting for the belt. Whoever wins the belt tonight. That's what's happening. Okay? And Ketelen Pereira, bro, she's just, I don't know. I love my Brazilians, but she's just not on the same level. Kayla Harrison takes it inside the distance. All right, next fight. Kevin Holland versus Roman Dolidze. So Roman Dolidze, you would expect him to lose because he's taking this fight on short notice because it was supposed to be Chris Curtis versus Kevin Holland, but Chris Curtis had a left foot fracture, so he's out. And Roman Dolidze actually was a short notice fighter in his last fight, and he won. He beat Anthony Smith by unanimous decision as a short notice fighter this summer. And so this is why you can't count him out, even if he's going against Kevin Holland. Don't count him out, man. Honestly, oh man, I love my guy Kevin Holland. So you know what? I love Kevin Holland, bro. I'm going with Kevin Holland. But don't count no dude out though. Roman Dolidze. It's gonna be a tough fight. Oh, that's what I want to do. This fight over 1.5 rounds. Take the over on the rounds because it's not gonna end in the first round. It's not gonna end in the first half of the second round. That's what I'm comfortable with. Yeah, because you can't count Roman Dolidze out. Now we just talked about Jose Aldo. Next fight, Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista, right? We just talked about them. Or we talked about Jose Aldo and how his grip strength is very underwhelming, right? Compared to the females that are fighting after him. And my guy, and you know, don't get me wrong, I think Jose Aldo, he's a very talented guy, but I just think it's time for him to, it might be time for him to like hang it up a little bit. I don't know. Might be time to hang it up. So, because if you look, let's see, Jonathan Martinez, Esteban Espinoza. Okay, this is boxing. I was like, what? Where did it? Since when did he get all these wins? But this is in boxing. So yeah, he needs to stick to boxing. Honestly, you can make your money, and it's easier. You go from MMA, you retire from MMA, and then you go to boxing. I think that's a very smart decision for him because I do think he's gonna lose to Mario Bautista. I mean, Mario Bautista. Why is there so much feedback now? Oh. What's going on, man? Stuff is just starting to get weird, bro. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish this out. So Mario Bautista wins, right? Jose Aldo, he's not washed, but he's just, he's not at his prime in MMA anymore. Moving on to the next fight, the championship fights. Raquel Pennington versus Julianna Peña, okay? I think Pennington's going to win, okay? Both of these girls are like championship women. But Julianna Peña, I don't think she's as durable as Raquel Pennington. I don't think she can put out the volume as Raquel Pennington. Let's see if I think this one will tell us a little bit about that. So significant strikes. See what did I say? Raquel Pennington 4.14 landed per minute compares to 3.16, and Raquel can absorb it too. You know, you will hit her, keep hitting her, and she's not gonna go down, okay? And that's why I think Raquel Pennington is gonna win. So, finally, we get to talk about Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree, And this one is so freaking exciting. Okay, so we got Alex Pereira, who is going to be like Alex Pereira and Kevin Holland will both be the most active fighters in UFC today. And literally, Alex Pereira has done like 4 title fights out of his 10 so far, or 10 and 11. Like, so it's even more impressive because those are 5-round fights. So it's pretty crazy that's a thing. So we saw the grip strength, and Khalil Roundtree said that he's gonna have a new technique that like nobody's seen before, which is gonna be really interesting. Also, like, the other reason why he has a chance is because he actually dopes. Like, well, I don't know. I can't say he dopes. I watched the video, and he said that he has trainers and nutritionists, and like they gave him something that they didn't say what it was, and that they weren't supposed to, and he called immediately. That's a story, so we don't really know exactly what happened, but I think, you know, Khalil Roundtree Jr., he's a really good guy, and he's a really, like, he has ethics. Like, I think he's a good dude, and I don't think he's trying to just like do steroids just to like be the best. I think he really cares about his craft, and he's good with his craft. Okay, but my guy, like, so yeah, so most active fighter in UFC. That's what I was looking for. And the other interesting thing is, this was a long time ago. I don't know actually when this was. Let's see when. So he got knocked out by Johnny Walker. Okay.
And if you're Roundtree on the outside, playing an outside. Wow, the head kick got through, and then the left cross from Walker. Well, Roundtree able to wear it well and force him back to the fence. And now knees from the clinch from the Brazilian. Oh, good short elbow.
I gotta pause it for a second just to make sure that they don't give me the copyright strike, man. I'm sorry. Okay, pressing play.
And another short elbow sends Roundtree to his back. And that's it. Welcome to the octagon, Johnny Walker.
I know, very underwhelming the way I paused it in the middle, but so Johnny Walker, like, after he knocked out Roundtree, like, his career went all the way down the drain. So, like, UFC career. So I don't really know. That basically, there's so many things so many reasons for you to say Alex Pereira will win. That I can confidently. First of all, this fight is not going the distance. So if you want guaranteed, like, that's the most guaranteed thing that you can bet on for this fight, is that it does not go the distance. And then you could also, yeah, Alex Pereira, I'm pretty confident that he wins it as well. So lastly, I will leave y'all with some inspiration. Inspiration number 1 from these title fighters. Khalil Roundtree Jr. was overweight in 2010, and now he looks like that, and now he's fighting for the UFC title, and you know, he's making a career. He's made a career for himself. Very inspirational. Inspirational with Alex Pereira. This has not been confirmed, but basically, this guy found a Google Maps picture of a tire shop where it looks like Alex Pereira was in there, and he blurred his face, even though they didn't blur this last guy's face. I don't know why. And I don't know. I'm assuming after this, that's when he starts his glory kickboxing career or starts training. But, like, you know, he's been fighting. Alex Pereira has been fighting for a long time, since before he got into the UFC. And he was championing glory kickboxing probably 8 years ago. Let's see how accurate that is. So we go back to his glory kickboxing. And he starts in glory in 2017. And you know, before that, he was working his way up in other kickboxing promotions. All right. So you see, even back in 2013, he was already a kickboxer. So it's not like you can just like not be training martial arts at all and then in 10 years become literally the best fighter like that anybody has ever seen ever. I think 10 years is a long enough time for you to like say like, yo, you could actually you could be insane if you from 0 to insane in 10 years. Absolutely. But you know, I'm not gonna say like that anybody is gonna turn into Alex Pereira, of course, right? So this guy's been fighting for over a decade, going on like 15 years. So much respect for him. So I'm not trying to discount any of his work ethic at all, but you know, if this is true, it's quite inspirational as well. So that's what I'll leave you with. That concludes UFC 7 prediction video. Catch y'all later.